Black raspberry syrup is what we have here. And I like using black raspberries along with raspberries because they're a lot deeper in color and flavor. Raspberries have a great acidity, but you can make sure when you're making the thing that it doesn't lose all its sweetness. When using this raspberry syrup, do know that raspberries do have a lot more acid in them than, say, strawberries or blueberries. So the drink doesn't tend to be as sweet. Once again, the ingredients in this are listed right on the back. It says raspberries, sugar, and water, and that is what's in here. So if you see any kind of particulate, it's fruit. It's fine. But just with all the rest of these, some of the stuff will fall out. So just go ahead and flip it over a couple of times, make sure there's nothing on the bottom, so everything's reintegrated before you use it. Now, why black raspberry syrup or raspberry syrup in general? Well, first of all, it's a classic cocktail ingredient. If you want to make a Clover Club, if you want to make a Knickerbocker, if you want to make a Floridora, they call for raspberry syrup. But most of the time when we're using it in kind of a plug and play variation on some other classic, some other cocktail. So anytime that there's simple syrup in a drink, say a mojito or a French 75, this is an easy go-to to spin that drink. Anytime there's a pretty one-note kind of simple liqueur like Cointreau or triple sec, like in a margarita, this is a really good substitute to completely change the drink in a nice way. So we're gonna go ahead and make a daiquiri, a raspberry daiquiri, because why not? Now, daiquiri, as we talked about before, is one of those pretty straightforward cocktails that calls for, it's kind of basically begging you to mess with it because it's so straightforward. Now, you always got to take the little cap off there. Safety thing, make sure it's all sweetened up. So now, we make daiquiris pretty straightforward here. In we go, generally speaking, we would use a half an ounce of simple syrup, but we of course are replacing that with this black raspberry. And I've already measured this out. This is a half an ounce of lime juice. And then we'll put a couple of ounces of rum in there. If you're in the mood for something really, really funky and interesting, you can certainly change to a different rum. Now the raspberry will get a little buried with a really funky rum, but if you don't mind having the raspberry be more of a back note, then you might want to choose a rum with bolder flavor. If you like your drink a little sweeter, then you can change this recipe to reflect that. If you still want your drink to be nice and crisp and puckering, then I think this is the right balance for you. Take my coupe there and there we go. Anytime I give it a nice long shake, and anytime we go into a coupe like this, an up glass, we're generally speaking always going to go ahead and double strain that. And you see how much color this has. If I used all just red raspberries and no black raspberries in the syrup, it's still going to be really pretty, but it's just going to be kind of this dusky pink. I really like mixing raspberries with black raspberries to get that real big pop of color. Yeah, it's got a really nice, it's still puckering because the raspberry has acid in it already. Black raspberry daiquiri. Enjoy.